All right, so 90 seconds and there you have it. It is perfectly cooked. You can even see the edges that have already started to lift all on their own. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Myra from Low Carb Love. Now, most of you know I've lost over 100 pounds. So today I'm gonna show you how to make a Starbucks pumpkin spice loaf in 90 seconds, okay? So we all love, I don't know if you've tried it, but I absolutely love a lot of their loaves, except that they are loaded with sugar, loaded with carbs, have a lot of sketchy ingredients that I just personally don't feel comfortable with. So today we're gonna make a much cleaner version. These are all good for you ingredients, single ingredient items. When you are on a weight loss journey, at first I feel like it always starts with like, okay, just lose weight, lose weight, lose weight. But as you start to lose that weight, I feel like then that's where like the health aspect really comes into play. And you don't have to eliminate dessert. That's the one thing that you need to understand, or like I want people to understand that you don't have to eliminate desserts. You just have to be mindful with the ingredients that you're using. A lot of times you'll start having issues with your gut, right? 70% of our immune system literally stems from our gut. So sometimes you have your hair's falling out, you have dry skin, eczema, you start having issues with your digestion. A lot of that has to do with the ingredients that you're using or the ingredients that you're consuming in fast food, takeout, the oils, dressings. A lot of times we don't pay attention to a lot of that because you're like, oh, I'm just having a salad, or oh, I'm just having like a gluten-free cookie. But you don't realize that a lot of the ingredients in there are actually, I don't like to say bad, but they're just not the best choice, right? If you're having issues with your gut, you're having your hair's thinning out, you have a lot of like, I personally was having like dry patches on my skin. What I had to do was focus on my gut health, okay? So focus on the ingredients, read those labels. If you don't already have a high quality probiotic and prebiotic, I'll link the one that I use. It's the Seed DS01. It has been a complete game changer for me. I've been taking it for years. Before I started taking it, hair was literally falling out. I had like dry patches on my skin. It was crazy. And so now, of course, I've made the changes. I make desserts just like this. Instead of going to Starbucks to go and buy the pumpkin loaf, where I know I'm gonna be consuming a ton of sugar, carbs, and ingredients that my body is just not gonna do well with, I make it at home. And I promise you it tastes just as good, if not better. So if you don't have a high quality probiotic that you love and trust, I highly recommend Seed. You can use my discount code and it'll get you 25% off on your order. So I'll leave that linked in the description below for you, okay? Now, this is what you wanna look for. 100% pumpkin puree. This is not anything fancy. This is literally just the generic brand from my local store, but I want to show you these ingredients, okay? This is the ingredient list. One ingredient. It is pumpkin. They do have something called pumpkin pie filling. You do not want to use that. That is loaded with sugars, loaded with carbs, and this is just a single ingredient. This is gonna do it, okay? So we're gonna start off with almond flour. This is a very simple recipe, okay? It is low carb. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about going off track. If you're trying to live a low carb lifestyle, you don't want your insulin to go through the roof, this is a recipe and dessert that you can make, okay? And I am gonna make a cream cheese frosting, so I will show you how to put that together, but we'll make that while that's actually cooking. Then we're going to do a brown sugar substitute. So you can do like a brown sugar sweetener, you can do allulose, you can do stevia, monk fruit, like whatever you typically use, that's what you'll use for this recipe as well. I like to do all my dry ingredients. So we're gonna do the baking powder, make it rise, do a little cinnamon. Now, I don't have my pumpkin pie spice, but cinnamon will do. I just like the pumpkin pie because it definitely adds like a little bit of the nutmeg. It gives you the cinnamon. I think there's like allspice in there. It just makes it like more pumpkin pie-y. So anyway, but cinnamon is gonna do for this. Let me give this just a good little mix. So this is what the dry ingredients look like. Okay. And now we are going to do the wet. So we do our little egg. And we also need a little butter. So let's do butter. Let me actually melt this because I want to make sure that it like incorporates into the dry ingredients. Okay, and we have a little melted butter. And we're gonna do some of the pumpkin puree. And you don't need to add so much of the pumpkin. The pumpkin actually doesn't have a lot of flavor. What it does, it really adds to the texture. So it's gonna make it nice and moist and give you like that pumpkin texture that you get in the Starbucks loaf. Smells like fall. It's my favorite. Candles are coming out. I'm getting all my stuff ready. I love to walk into my house and for it to smell like a straight cinnamon cookie in here. Okay, but that is the texture, not too runny, not too thick. And now that is it. This is going into the microwave for 90 seconds. We're literally going to have a pumpkin spice loaf in 90 seconds. Okay. All right, so 90 seconds and there you have it. It is perfectly cooked. You can even see the edges that have already started to lift all on their own. So you just want to make sure that you maybe do a little trial with your microwave. Some are a lot stronger than others. Mine is, I would say it's pretty normal. So 90 seconds, just a minute and a half, and it is all done. So we're going to let that cool for a little while I make our frosting. So I want like a cream cheese frosting. I really, really like I am a big fan of like Danishes. I like things that are nice and creamy. If you don't, you can honestly make like a buttercream would be really good with this, or even just like a glaze. But I think that a cream cheese frosting for this is gonna be delicious. So let's go ahead and do some cream cheese. I'm gonna do a little vanilla. Teeny tiny. Okay, then we're gonna do some sweetener. You can do, again, your sweetener of choice. Okay, we're gonna do a dash of cinnamon just to kind of add to that pumpkin spice. If you have the pumpkin spice flavor, then add some of that because I feel like it's just gonna, you know, make it taste that much more like fall. And I'm actually gonna add a little bit more cream cheese to this. Let me go ahead and give this a little mix. You wanna make sure that it is completely softened. Okay, mine is not yet, but we're gonna put in some arm work. And I added a little bit of the almond milk. You could also add a little tiny bit of the pumpkin puree just to give it more of like that pumpkin like texture flavor, but this is delicious. And as you can tell, mine is a little thicker. Think of it more of like a frosting versus a glaze. You can definitely still thin it out a little bit more and it'll kind of like, I don't know, just kind of seep into the cake and make it like almost like a tres leches, but I am gonna frost it. I'll let it cool for like a couple minutes because if not, it'll just melt on it. So I want it to actually just sit on top and look really, really nice. So yeah, I'm gonna let this cool for about 2 minutes and then we're gonna frost it and taste. Okay, so look at how easy this comes out. And I didn't spray any avocado oil or anything like that. So it definitely does not stick to the, you know, to the bottom, because sometimes that happens and it's just a whole situation with that. So, okay, so we have our little guy here. Now let's go ahead and throw our frosting on it. I actually ended up adding a little more liquid just because, I don't know, I just like it more of like, I wanted it to like kind of sink in a little. So there you have it, look at that. And wait until you see the texture inside. It is as though I baked this. It's just such a great hack. I feel like if you finish dinner and you're just like, oh my God, I'm craving like cake or I'm craving something like, you know, like a pastry or something like this, you could definitely make this. You can make a chocolate version, a vanilla version. I have like a lemon version and they're all linked in the description below. So check them out because yeah, like these recipes are those recipes that like get you out of a pinch. They are the ones that will make you stay on track when you are this close to like flying off the deep end. So, but there you have it. Look at that. It just looks like a pastry that you would get at your local bakery. This here is a pumpkin spice loaf in 90 seconds. If you are a fan of the Starbucks pumpkin spice loaf, this right here is a must. Like you have to try this. I'm telling you, you're gonna enjoy it just as much, if not more, This is a clean version, good for you ingredients. It is low carb, low sugar. Like, what is there not to love about this, you know? So the only thing I do a little differently is make like a really decadent cream cheese frosting, which I think literally takes it over the top, but I cannot wait for you to try this. I'm gonna cut into it, take a little photo, and then we'll cut into it and taste, okay? Take a look at this texture. This is what I'm talking about. Okay, this looks like a traditional cake that I baked in 90 seconds. Or I should say that I cooked in 90 seconds because obviously this was not baked. But you would never, if you gave this to a friend, you would never know that this was made in the microwave. And that's the best part. That is the best part. Now we're gonna obviously dig right in. It is nice and moist. Look at that. A little bit of the frosting. Cheers. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is probably one of my favorites. The cake is perfect. Perfectly moist. Flavor, texture's on point. You never know this was made in the microwave. If you are a pumpkin spice loaf lover, this is for you. So, very easy recipe. I'm gonna leave it in the description below for you. Guys, please share these recipes. If you have friends and family that are on a weight loss journey, maybe they're just trying to make healthier choices. They eat a lot of baked goods, they eat a lot of breads, and they are trying to watch their weight. Recipes like this could be super, super helpful. But thank you so much for being here. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Mwah.